I'd like to talk to you all about the Star of David for a second. In the book of Amos 5, God was pretty much reading the Israelites for filth and telling them that they absolutely suck. He brought them out of exile, and they did not listen to any of the judges he sent to tell them to turn their ways. He doesn't care about the festivals and feasts that they celebrate in honor of him because they just do not love him with their hearts. And also, they're so committed to serving different pagan gods. A lot of us already know about Moloch, but there were other gods listed, such as, and it depends on what translation you read, Sakuth, Sikuth, Chiun, and Kaiwan. But the main takeaway is that these are star gods. Their symbols are stars. I find it interesting that the Star of David or the Shield of David or the Maggin is constantly touted as a symbol for a nation. However, it's not scriptural. There's nowhere in the Old or New Testament that we ever see anything like a Star of David. Now, if you do a little bit of research, they actually say that the Star of David is as a result of the Seal of Solomon. So let's get into the Seal of Solomon. According to Jewish mysticism, because this is not in the Bible, Solomon was given a seal in the form of a ring by God, and that seal was actually able to entrap and summon demons. Apparently, Solomon would summon the demons, ask them what they control and what they're in charge of and what diseases they cause, and then he would entrap them and use them to build God's temple. Which seems a bit strange because I'm not sure why God would want to use such wicked beings to build his temple. Again, not scriptural. But I digress. The Seal of Solomon was ultimately the predecessor to the Star of David. So in summary, God sent the Israelites into exile because they were worshiping pagan gods such as the star god. The Star of David or the Shield of David is not scripturally sound. Nowhere is it listed in the Bible. And the Seal of Solomon, from whence the Star of David was derived from, is associated to witchcraft. It's associated with witchcraft, y'all. Interestingly enough, Solomon was the wisest man who has ever lived. However, he had one crux, women. And all the hundreds and thousands of women he married, he ended up following their different pagan gods, which ultimately ended in his demise. That's the reason why he died. So when you mix these things all together, you really have to begin to question, who authorized the Star of David to represent a people who claim to be the people of God? Using a star that represents the deities that God explicitly stated he detests and was one of the main reasons why he sent his people into exile. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me why you do that. Unless, of course, you weren't the people sent into exile.